What if the people closest to you are the reason you feel tired, confused, and powerless? What if your inner circle is quietly draining your energy, ambition, and discipline without you even noticing it? Stoic philosophy teaches that your environment shapes your mind, and your mind shapes your destiny. Today, you will learn 7 hidden signs your inner circle is draining your power, and how to protect your inner strength before it is too late. Your energy is your most valuable asset. Every person you allow close to you influences your thoughts, habits, and identity. Stoics believe that a wise person is careful about who they listen to, who they trust, and who they allow into their inner circle. Some people inspire growth, while others slowly weaken your spirit. In this video, we will explore the dangerous signs that your inner circle may be silently draining your power. One clear sign is when people mock your goals. When you share your dreams and they laugh, discourage you, or call your ambitions unrealistic, it feels personal, but it usually isn't about you. Many people are uncomfortable with ambition because it exposes their own doubts, fears, and unfulfilled potential. Your courage to dream big reminds them of the risks they avoided and the chances they never took. So they reduce your vision to protect their comfort. This is how projection works. Instead of facing their limitations, they place those limitations on you. If you internalize their words, your dreams begin to shrink, and your confidence slowly erodes. Over time, repeated discouragement can quietly reprogram your mind. You might start playing small, avoiding bold plans, and settling for what feels safe. This is dangerous, because most extraordinary achievements begin as ideas that sounded unrealistic to average minds. Stoic philosophy teaches that the crowd is not a compass for truth. Most people prefer security over growth, familiarity over challenge, and comfort over excellence. A Stoic recognizes that criticism often comes from fear, not wisdom. Great goals will always look foolish, risky, or arrogant to those who have never dared to chase something big. True strength comes from staying focused despite criticism. Stoics believed your duty is to your character and purpose, not to other people's approval. When others doubt you, you remain steady. When they laugh, you stay disciplined. When they discourage you, you quietly continue building. You don't argue, explain, or seek validation, you act. History is filled with people who were mocked before they were admired. The Stoic lesson is simple: let them underestimate you while you work in silence. Your vision is not meant to make sense to everyone, it only needs to be clear and meaningful to you. Another powerful sign is when people secretly enjoy your failure. You may notice their tone changes when you succeed, they become distant, sarcastic, or less supportive. But when you struggle, fail, or face setbacks, they suddenly seem more relaxed, friendly, or even subtly pleased. This is not coincidence. Your success challenges their self-image, while your failure reassures their ego. Instead of being inspired by your growth, they feel threatened by it. So when you fall, they feel safe again, as if your struggle confirms their belief that aiming high is pointless. These people are not always openly hostile. Often, they disguise their feelings behind fake concern, passive comments, or jokes. They may say things like, "I told you it wouldn't work," or, "See, it's better to stay realistic." On the surface, it sounds like advice, but beneath it lies relief. Your ambition disrupts their comfort zone. Your progress reminds them of their own stagnation. So when you fail, it restores their emotional balance. Stoic wisdom teaches that many people prefer others to remain small, because it makes their own smallness feel acceptable. True friends feel joy in your success. They celebrate your wins, encourage your growth, and feel inspired when you rise. Draining companions, on the other hand, feel relief when you stay below them. They prefer you manageable, predictable, and unthreatening. A Stoic learns to observe people without hatred or attachment. You don't need to confront them, argue with them, or expose them. You simply recognize their nature and adjust your distance. Keep your goals private, protect your energy, and surround yourself with those who want to see you rise. Your growth should not depend on anyone who secretly fears it. Your inner circle can also drain your power by quietly wasting your time. They pull you into gossip, unnecessary drama, endless debates, and distractions that lead nowhere. Hours pass in meaningless conversations, scrolling, complaining, or talking about other people's lives instead of building your own. At first, it feels harmless and social, but slowly, it eats away at your focus, discipline, and ambition. Time spent in noise is time stolen from growth, learning, health, and purpose. The people around you shape how you spend your days, and your days shape your destiny. Stoics believe that wasting time is worse than wasting money, because money can be earned again, but time never returns. Every hour you lose is a piece of your life that is gone forever. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is short and uncertain, and that every moment should be used wisely. When your circle constantly distracts you with trivial matters, they are not just stealing your attention, they are stealing your potential. They keep you busy but not productive, occupied but not advancing, entertained but not evolving. If your circle constantly keeps you trapped in meaningless talk, they are quietly stealing your future. A Stoic learns to guard time fiercely, to choose conversations carefully, and to walk away from constant distractions without guilt. This does not mean isolating yourself from everyone, but it means being selective with who gets your energy. Surround yourself with people who respect your goals, value deep conversations, and encourage growth. Your time is your life. Protect it, invest it wisely, and never let anyone waste it for you. Some people quietly push you toward weakness instead of strength. They encourage laziness, unhealthy habits, and endless excuses. They say things like, "Relax, you deserve a break," or "Why work so hard? Life is short." At first, this sounds caring and friendly, but over time it becomes a trap. They make comfort look attractive and discipline look boring, as if striving for more is foolish or unnecessary. Instead of challenging you to grow, they pull you back toward ease, distraction, and stagnation. Slowly, your standards drop, your drive fades, and your potential stays locked inside you. Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite: comfort creates weakness, while discipline creates freedom. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it builds dependence, fragility, and regret. Discipline feels hard in the moment, but it builds strength, confidence, and control over your life. The Stoics believe that a person who avoids discomfort will always be controlled by it, while a person who embraces discipline becomes independent and resilient. When you train your mind and body to do difficult things, you become less afraid of challenges and more capable of shaping your destiny. If your circle keeps you stuck in comfort, they are draining your potential. They may not be evil, but they are dangerous to your growth. Their habits become your habits. Their excuses become your excuses. Their comfort becomes your prison. A Stoic learns to recognize this pattern and chooses environment wisely. Surround yourself with people who respect discipline, value self-control, and push you toward excellence. Your circle should challenge you to rise, not invite you to stay small. In the end, the people who push you toward discipline are giving you freedom, while those who push you toward comfort are quietly holding you back. You feel guilty for saying no, and that guilt is often what keeps you trapped. Many people grow up believing that setting boundaries is selfish, rude, or unkind. So they say yes when they want to say no, they tolerate behavior they dislike, and they sacrifice their time, energy, and values to avoid disappointing others. Over time, this creates resentment, exhaustion, and loss of identity. You become available to everyone but present for no one, including yourself. The truth is, every yes to others can become a no to your own goals, peace, and growth. Boundaries protect your energy and your values. They define what you will accept and what you will not. Stoic philosophy teaches self-control and self-respect as the foundation of inner power. A Stoic understands that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control what you allow in your life. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away, it is about protecting what matters. It is choosing discipline over people-pleasing, clarity over confusion, and peace over constant conflict. When you respect your limits, others learn to respect them too. People who cross your boundaries repeatedly are not allies, they are drains. They test how much they can take, how far they can push, and how often you will tolerate disrespect. Each time you stay silent, you teach them that your boundaries are flexible and your self-respect is negotiable. A Stoic does not argue endlessly or explain excessively, they simply enforce boundaries with calm consistency. Saying no is not cruelty, it is clarity. When you protect your time, energy, and principles, you become powerful, grounded, and impossible to manipulate. Boundaries are not walls, they are the foundation of a strong and unbreakable self. Another clear sign of draining people is when they make you doubt yourself. They plant small negative thoughts in your mind, sometimes directly and sometimes subtly. They say things like, "You are not capable, this is not for you," or, "You are dreaming too big." Sometimes they hide it behind concern, pretending they are protecting you from disappointment. But these words act like seeds. At first, they seem harmless, but over time they grow into self-doubt, fear, and hesitation. Slowly, you start questioning your abilities, your worth, and your vision, not because you are weak, but because you listen to voices that never believed in you. Over time, these repeated messages reshape your self-image. You begin to see yourself through their limitations instead of your true potential. You hesitate before taking opportunities. You lower your standards. You silence your ambitions before anyone else can. This is one of the most dangerous forms of influence, because it happens quietly inside your mind. The person who doubts you the most eventually becomes you. Stoic philosophy warns against this. A Stoic understands that external voices should never become internal rulers. Your mind is your territory, and allowing others to control it is the greatest loss of freedom. A Stoic guards the mind carefully, because thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs become actions. If you believe you are weak, you act weak. If you believe you are incapable, you stop trying. If you believe your dreams are impossible, you never pursue them. That is why Stoics train their inner dialogue with discipline and reason. They challenge negative thoughts, reject discouraging voices, and build self-belief through action. When others doubt you, you stay calm and focused. You do not argue with them, you prove them wrong through quiet discipline and consistent progress. Your mind is your strongest weapon. Protect it, strengthen it, and never let anyone rewrite your self-image. Some people compete with you instead of supporting you, and this is one of the most subtle but dangerous signs. Instead of celebrating your progress, they constantly compare themselves to you. They turn your achievements into a scoreboard and your struggles into a relief for their ego. On the surface, they may act friendly, but underneath, there is envy, insecurity, and a hidden desire to stay above you. Your growth makes them uncomfortable, because it challenges their self-image. So instead of growing with you, they quietly compete with you. This silent competition changes the nature of your relationship. Conversations become about who is better, who is ahead, who is smarter, who is more successful. Compliments feel forced. Advice feels like subtle discouragement. Support feels conditional. They may copy you, downplay your success, or highlight your mistakes to feel superior. Stoic wisdom teaches that envy is a sign of inner weakness. A person who competes with friends instead of supporting them is fighting an internal battle, not an external one. Their insecurity turns relationships into contests instead of partnerships. A wise person chooses allies who grow together, not rivals who secretly hope for their downfall. True allies celebrate your wins, push you forward, and feel inspired by your success instead of threatened by it. They see your growth as motivation, not competition. Stoicism teaches you to observe people calmly and choose your circle with reason, not emotion. You don't need many people around you, but you need the right ones. Surround yourself with those who want to rise with you, not those who want to stay above you. Growth is powerful, but shared growth with the right allies is unstoppable. Stoic wisdom teaches that your character is deeply influenced by the company you keep. Marcus Aurelius observed that the soul becomes colored by the thoughts, habits, and energy of those around it. Every conversation, every interaction, and every shared habit leaves an imprint on your mind. People are not just individuals, they are carriers of influence. Their values, priorities, and mindset subtly shape how you think, act, and even feel. This is why choosing your companions carefully is not just wise, it is essential for personal growth. If you surround yourself with disciplined, calm, and ambitious people, their traits will gradually rub off on you. Their focus becomes your inspiration, their patience teaches you composure, and their drive encourages you to push beyond comfort. Being around such individuals challenges you to rise higher and maintain higher standards. Even when you face difficulties, their mindset reminds you of resilience, self-control, and persistence. Over time, these influences shape your habits, strengthen your character, and expand your potential in ways that conscious effort alone cannot achieve. Conversely, if your circle is filled with negative, lazy, or insecure people, you will absorb those traits without even realizing it. Constant exposure to complaints, fear, procrastination, and self-doubt weakens your resolve, clouds your judgment, and shrinks your vision. Stoics remind us that we are the average of the people we spend the most time with. Surrounding yourself with toxicity is like planting seeds of weakness in fertile soil. It grows silently, but powerfully, until it shapes who you are. The company you keep is not just social, it is transformative. Choose companions who elevate you, and you will become stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. To protect your power, you do not need to argue, convince, or justify yourself to anyone. Words are often wasted on people who do not respect your vision or intentions. Instead, the strongest response is action, and sometimes, inaction. By simply reducing access, you reclaim control over your energy and focus. Spend less time with those who drain you, share less information with those who misuse it, and invest more of yourself into the people and activities that align with your goals. Silence and restraint can be louder and more effective than confrontation. Distance is sometimes the highest form of wisdom. It is not a retreat born of fear or weakness, but a deliberate strategy to protect your mind, peace, and future. When you step back from distractions, toxic influence, or unnecessary debate, you allow yourself the clarity to act with purpose. The Stoics understood that many conflicts and emotional disturbances arise not from external events, but from who we allow into our mental and emotional space. Choosing carefully who has access to your time and thoughts is a form of mastery over life itself. Stoics taught that true peace comes from controlling what you can. And who you let influence you is part of that control. Your energy is finite, and your focus is precious. When you safeguard both, you create a space for growth, reflection, and calm power. People may notice your distance and question it, but that is not your concern. What matters is that your mind remains undisturbed, your goals stay clear, and your actions remain deliberate. In a world full of noise, maintaining distance is not avoidance, it is wisdom, strategy, and strength. When you control your inner circle, you take control of your future. The people you spend time with shape your habits, mindset, and energy more than you may realize. Surrounding yourself with those who uplift, challenge, and inspire you allows growth to become natural. You no longer look outward for validation, praise, or approval, because your focus shifts inward, to your goals, your principles, and your character. This conscious selection of companions is not selfish, it is strategic. Every person you allow close has the power to either strengthen you or weaken you, and recognizing that is the first step toward mastery over your life. By managing your circle, you build inner strength, calm, and clarity. Distractions, drama, and negativity are minimized, leaving space for focus, reflection, and deliberate action. You stop reacting impulsively to others' opinions or moods because your mental and emotional environment is intentional. The Stoics teach that external chaos only affects those who give it power. When your circle is aligned with growth and reason, you cultivate resilience, patience, and self-discipline. You become someone whose mind is steady even when the world around you is turbulent, and whose decisions are guided by principle rather than pressure. A Stoic does not beg for approval from others, he builds a life that does not need it. Confidence and validation come from inner mastery, not external recognition. You no longer measure your worth by who likes you or who supports you. Instead, your worth is defined by your actions, your consistency, and your alignment with virtue and purpose. By controlling your circle and protecting your energy, you create a foundation of strength that is independent, unshakable, and free. Your life becomes proof of your discipline, and your presence alone commands respect, without needing a single word of validation from anyone else. Are the people around you lifting you higher, or are they quietly pulling you down while pretending to care? Your circle shapes your soul, choose those who sharpen your mind and protect your fire. If you think I provide you valuable content, please like this video, follow, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Your support helps this channel grow and brings you more powerful Stoic wisdom.